There are songs that evoke patriotism and awaken the spirit of devotion to the motherland. There are hymns that awaken a civilization. But above them all stands Vande Mataram. Vande Mataram is not merely a song. It is the divine pulse of Bharat's soul, the cry that transformed devotion into revolution and reverence into resistance. Born in the sacred soil of Bengal and immortalized by Bankim Chattopadhyay, Vande Mataram became the sound of Bharat's awakening, the call that stirred millions and infused their hearts with the fire of freedom. When Bharat was under colonial chains, it was these two simple and yet thunderous words, Vande Mataram, that echoed from every street, temple and battlefield. It was the slogan, the prayer, the emotion and the war cry that united sages and revolutionaries alike, all standing shoulder to shoulder for one sacred cause, the freedom of the motherland. On November 7, 2025, we commemorate 150 years of this immortal song, not as an anniversary, but as a renewal of the sacred pledge to serve, to protect, and to glorify Ma Bharati. The slogan of our freedom struggle, the war cry of Bharat's awakening, was Vande Mataram. From the throats of countless freedom fighters, these words thundered through prison walls, echoed across gallows, and carried the dream of independence on every breath. Bankim Chandra Chattopadhyay's Vande Mataram was not merely a patriotic song, it was a spiritual and cultural proclamation of Bharatiya nationalism. First published in his novel Anthem, written against the backdrop of the Bengal famine and the Sannyasi rebellion, this composition was born in the defiance of oppression, turning bhakti into shakti. Over time, Vande Mataram became synonymous with the very idea of freedom for countless revolutionaries. For countless revolutionaries, it was not just an anthem, it was the final prayer before embracing martyrdom. This spirit of devotion to the motherland was not new. The Artha Veda had already said, Mata Bhumi Putro Ham Prithviyaha. This land is my mother and I am her child. Bhagwan Sri Ram, after his victory in Lanka, echoed the same emotion in the Ramayana. Janani Jan Bhumischa Swargdapi Garyasi. Mother and the motherland are greater than heaven. In Bharat's spiritual worldview, the earth himself is Matru Shakti, the nurturing mother of all creation. Thus, the evocation of Vande Mataram was not just a salute, it was a sacred recognition of this eternal dharmic truth. The genesis of Vande Mataram traces back to the hymn of goddess Kali that Bankim discovered in a temple at Lalkot. While posted there as a British official, he unearthed the verses and reinterpreted them as a devotional war cry for Bharat's liberation. At a time when colonial powers distorted our history, Bankim used his novels Anandmat and Devi Chaudarani to reawaken the spirit of resistance through dharmic symbolism. After the publication of Anandmat in 1882, Vande Mataram spread like wildfire, especially in Bengal. In 1896, Rabindranath Tagore composed its melody and sang it at a Calcutta Congress session, marking the moment when Bharat's fight for freedom found its anthem. This was no ordinary moment. The Congress session, which earlier opened with God Save the King, now began with Vande Mataram, a symbolic act of reclaiming Bharat's voice. Leaders like Bal Gangadhar Tilak, Bipin Chandra Pal and Lala Lajpat Rai made Vande Mataram the rallying cry of resistance. When Lord Curzon partitioned Bengal in 1905, the streets roared with the chant Vande Mataram. It became a unifying slogan that transcended class, creed. Singing it became an act of fighting for the motherland, an assertion that Bharat would never bow again. It was through this song that the vision of Bharat Mata emerged, the divine embodiment of the nation herself. Vande Mataram thus became both prayer and protest, an appeal to the mother to bless her child and free them from the chains of slavery. The power of Vande Mataram crossed oceans. Madam Bhikhaji Kama unfurled the first flag of Bharatiya independence at Stuttgart, Germany in 1907 with Vande Mataram inscribed boldly in Sanskrit. The Gadar party displayed the image of Bharat Mata in chains alongside the same slogan. Even abroad, Indian revolutionaries like Aurobindo Ghosh saw Vande Mataram not just as a song but as a spiritual force, the divine vision of a free motherland that inspired sacrifice and selflessness. From Bengal's lane to Punjab's field, from Andaman's prison to Delhi's gallows, Vande Mataram resonated as the emotional heartbeat of the revolution. Khudiram Bose, Suraj Sen and countless others embraced martyrdom chanting it. In 1942, Matangini Hazra fell with the tricolour in her hands and Vande Mataram on her lips. Even in 1943, as the Azad Hind Fauj soldiers Wakam Abdul Khadir, Satyayen Bardhan and Fauja Singh were hanged in the Madras jail, the final words were Vande Mataram. It was a chant that united every Bharatiya and all who saw Bharat as their motherland until divisive politics began to twist its meaning. Before 1937, even Muhammad Ali Jinnah never objected to Vande Mataram. He sat through Congress session where it was sung with reverence, but after his political shift towards communal separatism, he began opposing it, branding it as exclusionary. When communal politics gained ground, the Congress leadership under Jawaharlal Nehru decided to limit the public singing to the first two stanzas of Vande Mataram only. Despite Subhash Chandra Bose's warning that such appeasement would fuel communal division, Nehru conceded, and within 3 years the demand for Pakistan followed. Even then, leaders like Maulana Azad, Ravi Ahmed Kidwai and Aruna Asif Ali continued to sing Vande Mataram with pride. Its echoes reverberated through the 1942 Quit India movement, the Naval Uprising of 1946 and the Azad Hind Fauj trials of 1945-46. Despite political distortion and opposition from opportunists, Vande Mataram remained the emotional anthem of Bharat. It is sung by soldiers guarding the border, students saluting the flag, and citizens rising to the honor of the tricolour. It embodies the collective consciousness of Bharat, devotion, duty, and destiny intervened. At the time of freedom struggle, Vande Mataram was more than a song. It was a movement, a call that transformed poetry into power, emotion into revolution, and nationalism into worship. It was the reinstatement of the spirit of the ancient Rashtra based on cultural unity and reverence for the motherland. Unlike Europe, which was inspired by the idea of political patriotism based on the concept of fatherland, Bharat has always cherished a tradition based on the cultural nationalism rooted in the concept of patriotism. Vande Mataram was the revival of the same ethos. Two-word Vande Mataram achieved what 1,000 speeches could not. They awakened a civilization from centuries of silence. 150 years later, Vande Mataram still echoes not merely in our ceremonies but in the very soil of Bharat. It reminds every Indian that freedom was not gifted, it was earned through devotion, courage and sacrifice. When Bankim penned Vande Mataram, he gifted Bharat not just a melody but a mantra, an eternal scripture of nationalism. It united the revolutionaries who kissed the gallows, the mother who sent their sons to war, and the countless souls who dreamed of awakened nation. Today, as the world hums to the tunes of fleeting fame, Vande Mataram stands immortal, the melody of Bharat civilization, the mantra of our patriotism and the eternal symbol of the sacred bond between Ma Bharati and her child. Vande Mataram, not just a song but a sound of our soul, the cry that gave us freedom, the emotion that still moves the nation. Vande Mataram.